On today's episode, Spider-Man is no longer a part of the MCU. Star Wars is still a thing that is owned and operated by Disney for our enjoyment. Halo Forward Until Dawn is a thing that exists. And movie posters are bad. This is your ultimate film-obsessed podcast experience, a show that will finally prove that movies are the future. Title sequence.
Movies are the future.
Alright, Kurtis, welcome back. He's upgraded from sexy/sneaky Kurtis to now being recurring Kurtis.
Yeah,
Kurtis. Coming back for a second
Kurtis
episode.
with beard.
I almost didn't recognize you when I walked in. I was like, oh. But thank you for coming back. If you wanted to skip ahead to any of those topics that I mentioned in the little intro, you can find the timestamps down below. But let's jump into the big news. Oh, not the big news. The big, well, technically the big news, which is what's out. Because that's big to us.
Yeah. What's out, folks, in August? So, most anticipated movie from this month has got to be Once Upon a Time in Hollywood from Quentin Tarantino. And a funny fact, this is my first Tarantino movie. Yeah.
It's not funny, Dragon. It's sad.
Well, I was
not
considering watching other movies, but I was like, I want my first one to be in the cinema. So, and Declan sort of gave me a rundown of what to expect from this movie. Well, from his movies.
What can you say to...
Well, I'm just like, it's so random. You should expect. I don't know what to expect.
Don't expect the unexpected.
Yeah, and I think that was really good because I walked out really enjoying this movie. I really liked it. I loved everyone in it, and just all the choices, how it looked, the music was just stand out. Especially the last act.
Yeah,
is fantastic. That's worth the price of admission for me.
100%.
Yeah.
Is that his 8th film?
Ninth.
Oh,
Well,
okay.
I suppose like 10th, but he counts
Yeah.
Kill Bill
As
Volume
one
1 and
movie.
2 as one film.
Oh,
And then
okay.
he's written a whole bunch of other movies.
Yeah.
And then I don't know, does he count A Grindhouse as a part of his
I don't think so.
10 movies?
I think it's
Probably
just
not.
Death Proof.
Yeah.
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 There you go. So it's a bit wonky, but yeah. 9 movies.
Yeah. What do you guys think of the movie?
I really liked it as well. I suppose at first, while you're watching it, like you're enjoying watching Leonardo DiCaprio and Brad Pitt's characters, but you don't really know where it's going. You know the Manson murders is involved, and you're sort of like, are they building up to that? It's sort of hard to follow what's actually going on. What are these characters trying to reach? Because it's just so random, just following their day-to-day sort of lives. But once Brad Pitt goes to the ranch, that's where I felt the movie started. Okay, so I sort of know where. I see where they're going now. But that's not to say what came before was bad. It was just a bit, where are they going with this? But it was still an enjoyable, where are they going with this?
Yeah, I found it was sort of like everyone sort of had to know what happened. Like if you were born too young, you just would not know anything about this for the film.
100%, yeah.
Yeah.
I think it was really good. I think I was getting a little bit bored in the middle. Drags a little bit, and I was kind of like, this just feels very self-indulgent, which, I mean, fair enough, it's Tarantino. No one's going to say no to him. He's kind of at that point in his career, so he can do whatever he wants. And I think that getting to see that is a cool thing, because you don't get to see that a lot in cinema these days. It's all studio mandates.
Yeah.
But when you get to the end, everything gets tied together. And I'm like, all this like stuff that I thought was inconsequential is actually consequential. And some stuff that I thought was going to be important didn't end up being important.
Yeah.
And was just serving as a 2.5 hour long red herring, which is cool.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, I enjoyed it. And the ending totally changed my perception of the whole movie, which was cool.
How many times have you seen it?
Just the once.
Oh,
but I will.
Yeah.
probably
Myself and Declan have seen it twice, and I feel like the second viewing definitely helps more because you sort of pick up on a few things, and especially in that ranch scene, because the first time when we saw it, we were like, what's going on? And like we didn't know how long it was going to go for.
I remember during the movie Dragon leaned over and he's like, what's happening?
Yeah, I had no clue what was going on.
Does it drag on as much? Does it drag on as
Not
much?
the second time. The first time, because you didn't know what was going on, but the second time it's like, cool.
Does it drag on?
Oh, shit. Yeah, I was gonna make. Anyways, to me, Tarantino's all about the suspense.
Yeah.
That's why Inglourious Bastards is awesome. And even Kill Bill, but Kill Bill's kind of like every genre. But suspense is, I think, the thing he does the best. And there's really only 2 scenes of suspense in Once Upon a Time. Don't really want to spoil it.
Yeah.
But there's the wrench scene you're talking about in the ending. And I think that, like, I was kind of missing it. I was like, this just feels like stuff's happening. There's not a lot of suspense. But the scenes where he does it, like, to, like, number 10, like, this is how you do suspense in a movie. It's really good.
Yeah,
A
definitely.
quick shout out to that little girl who Leo was sitting with, and she was giving him a hard time about how to act or whatever.
I love that scene so much.
Brilliant.
Yeah. Moving on to a movie that we didn't really love, Hobbs and Shaw, which we covered in our Fast and Furious rankings, which you should all check out.
We're not going to talk about it.
No?
You just have to go watch it now.
Sorry, guys. Moving on to...
That's it.
To our resident heartthrob, Gerard Butler, and his big movie that came out this month, Angel Has Fallen, the most anticipated.
How old is Gerard Butler?
Too old.
Yeah. it shows, but we still love you. Myself and Declan saw it.
I have to watch the other 2 first, but I felt like I need to watch it with you guys. So whenever you guys are down, have me over for a little party. We can get some Gerard Butler in.
Stay tuned for
Invite me.
Has Fallen commentary track. Kurtis, have you seen any of the Fallen movies?
I think I saw Olympus, but I don't remember too much about it.
Okay.
So.
Well, Declan and I will defend this to our dying day that Olympus Has Fallen is a genuinely good movie. I haven't seen London in a while.
Here's the headline. Has the franchise fallen? The answer?
No.
Boom.
Yeah.
There you go.
Fantastic.
In terms of London, I haven't seen it in a while, but Declan has seen it recently.
Olympus is a good film. London is a guilty pleasure. It's
And Angel is
in between.
pretty good. Yeah.
Angel is kind of soaring at a sort
Yeah,
of like
it's
medium
like-
altitude.
I feel like the new director, Rick Roman War, kind of missed the whole point of the franchise. Like, it's meant to be over the top and just action-packed the whole time. Not like... It was nice to, follow Mike Banning and...
As a character.
Yeah, but at the same time, it's like...
Yeah, it's really the last act that really...
character.
It's really the last act that picks up the stupidity and the funness of Olympus in London.
Which was probably the best part of the film. When
apart from some awful CGI.
So it's not the same director.
No, all of them have different directors.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah, so, I mean, it was... Nick Nolte was definitely a big highlight of the movie. He had a lot
Why did you come to me? I don't know. What he says something in the trailer. It's
How
really...
did you find me?
And then it's like, because you're my dad.
Yeah, and it's a
President, Dad.
Oh, it's so good. Yeah, he definitely has some of the funniest scenes. He shares good chemistry with Gerard Butler. And, yeah, I mean, it was enjoyable.
We'll talk about it all now. Has fallen spoiler special.
Yes. Moving on to a local movie, an Aussie movie, Danger Close. I don't think any of us saw this except for Declan, because he is a true blue Aussie. So yeah, I'll hand it over to you.
I was pretty keen for this because it's a mostly Australian or all Australian production, and they filmed it in Queensland, I think, which is the state we live in.
Looks like Queensland, I guess.
And it obviously had a decent sized budget. The cinematography was amazing. The acting was it was okay. That was probably the most disappointing aspect. Was like in the opening scene, their base is getting bombed, and they're all like joking around as if it's no danger at all. And
Was there a g'day mate at any point?
Oh yeah.
Oh wow, okay, cool.
And if they were trying to show that like their base was getting bombed a lot, then a character should have said, "Oh, not again" or something. But instead, you're just watching. You're getting ready for a really intense film, and it opens to a really intense moment, and everyone's they're drinking tea or still playing cards, and you're like, what?
That's kind of Australian though.
I know, but it's like
I feel like they're overusing it.
They were trying to go for that larrikinism, but it was just
The danger,
comedic.
not that close.
Yeah, and it probably wouldn't go too well with like the American audience because they probably don't get our humor.
Yeah.
As much.
G'day, mates. Welcome to the podcast, eh? If you're from the US, you won't understand a fucking thing I'm talking about.
But yeah, like some of the acting was good. The main actor, Travis Fimmel, he was probably the weakest actor, to be honest.
Oh.
But he still had good moments.
How's Luke Bracey?
He was probably one of the best parts.
Ooh. It's come a long way since Point Break.
Yeah. But yeah, and the war scenes, like most of the 70% of the film is the Battle of Long Tan, and horrific, but it was cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if you want to support an Australian film, Danger Close.
Horrific, but cool.
Speaking
of horrific,
one of my most anticipated movies, and I hadn't even seen Hereditary till like a month ago. I was excited because Florence Pugh from Fighting With My Family is in this movie, Midsummer. Myself, Kurtis, and our resident guest Heath, which put him up here.
I wasn't invited.
We saw. Sorry, Declan. We saw this movie. And again, like I said, myself and Declan only saw Hereditary like a month ago, so kind of knew like what I was going in for, but at the same time, I really didn't know what I was going in for. I'll hand it over to our guest Kurtis. What did you think of Midsummer?
Well, as an avid horror person, I guess you could say, it wasn't really horror. It was just sort of, I found it quite different in the fact that I don't think I've ever seen a movie like it. It was just completely different. Like, I liked how they add the cultural aspects into it.
Like Sweden.
And it sort of played very well with like the overall ending as well. But also completely twisted and...
Is cult short for culture?
I don't know. Actually,
Anyways,
yeah.
you said culture, and I was like, culture, and the numbers started going.
Yeah. For me, I definitely went into this movie being more scared than I should have been. Because every time I see horror, I'm like, nah, man, I can't do it. So I was definitely moments where I was just like anticipating something scary, but nothing would really happen in terms of like jump scares or just like actual horror. It was more like thought process. Yeah, so there was definitely some brutal scenes, visual stuff, but it all climaxed to the ending where you're just sitting there thinking, and some imagery is still in my head 2 days after watching it.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I will say it was like sort of like scary at the start. Like they had all these like little jump scares everywhere. And I didn't realize till later that the mural at the start was actually the entire movie.
Oh, really?
yeah.
Don't spoil it.
Yeah. Basically just a huge bunch of foreshadow. So yeah, I really liked it. It's definitely really the most different movie that I've seen this year. Really.
I think what you said about the images thing
Yeah.
was so true with Hereditary. Where still to this day, some of the best horror I've ever seen, which includes Hereditary. Like, there's just key shots that will just forever be with you. And have you seen Hereditary now?
Yeah, we've seen it.
I mean, there's one shot in particular that you can probably remember. I don't know if it's spoilers, but there's a head.
Yeah.
You know? And like that's a shot that like no one, at least who I have talked to, has seen it that can forget about. So I'm keen to see it and have more shit things in my head.
Yeah, it's definitely a feast for the eyes. And moving on to a movie that I saw last night that I was actually kind of looking forward to, The Kitchen, starring Melissa McCarthy, Tiffany Haddish, and Elizabeth Moss. All these people are good actors, I'd say. Like, they've proven themselves in good movies. The director is first-time director, co-written on Straight Outta Compton, Bloodfather, and, you know, this movie looked really good. It really wasn't. It was really bad. I did not like this movie at all. It was boring. It felt like scenes were just placed one after the other. There was no... The basic plot is that these three women are wives of mobsters from the Irish mob, and they get sent to prison. And they're like, oh, I guess we'll take over the money laundering stuff. And there's no setup. There's 5 minutes or 10 minutes of like, oh, we're the wives, and then it's like, oh, that some of them are like abused, and it's like, oh, I feel bad for you. But then all of a sudden they go to this place, and they're like, oh, are you paying for protection for this person? You can give us the money. And this guy's like, yeah, I'll give you the money. And that's their big moment. of
Wow.
rise to power. And like there's an overall narrative about these three women's rise to power, but scenes just don't feel attached to each other. They're just like, all right, what can we add here? What can we add here? What can we add here?
Would you say the kitchen is undercooked?
Very. It's a blue on the steak meter.
It's a blue.
Yeah.
I feel like Melissa McCarthy's taken a hit like twice.
Yeah,
Like,
I'm
even
sorry,
with the
Melissa.
Ghostbusters.
But
Yeah.
kitchen's not my fave.
There you go. Is
Yeah.
that brings us to the end of the...
What's up, folks?
What's up?
Yeah. And I guess we'll head back in time to August 2009.
All right, so August 2009. 2009, again, continuing to amaze me with some
Yeah.
crazy stuff. First of all, we have G.I. Joe Rise of the Cobra.
I didn't see this one.
I don't think I ever saw it. But
I saw Retaliation without watching Rise of Cobra.
probably fine. There's a big cast. Channing Tatum, Christopher Eccleston, Dennis Quaid, Marlon Wayans.
Yeah, Marlon Wayans.
For some reason. Anyways, bunch of movies I don't remember. My Little Pony. A Very Pony Place.
Yeah, nah. I
Yeah. District 9.
Oh,
Neil
it's a great
Blomkamp,
movie.
Peter Jackson. Good movie.
Yeah.
Neil Blomkamp kind of went a little bit downhill, but not if you talk to some people.
Was Chappie his last movie?
Yeah. Then there was Elysium.
Alicia,
Oh, yeah.
Who's
I
gonna
liked
do
it.
Alien?
I actually kind of like Chappie. I know Declan doesn't like
I
it,
hate Chappie.
but I kind of like Chappie.
Fuck Chappie. No, I haven't seen it, so one day I'll watch it. Sorry, Neil. Come on the podcasts. Ponyo. Miyazaki.
Yeah.
Classic. I remember that being the first anime that I saw like marketed in cinemas. Because before that, I hadn't seen it.
Yeah.
I didn't think I saw it in cinemas, but I saw it a lot on the posters. The Time Traveler's Wife with Eric Bana, Rachel McAdams.
Oh, yeah.
Movie I've always wanted to see.
I've always wanted to see it too for some reason.
Everyone says it's really sad, and I'm like, that doesn't really sell it. Like,
We can cry together.
yeah, okay, you can be my. Well, who's the time traveler and who's the wife? Comment below. There's a movie called The Headless Woman. There's a lot of Inglourious Bastards.
Oh.
There you go.
Yeah.
10
How
years.
fitting.
Yeah.
10 years on from what was probably his last, like, I think, masterpiece.
Yeah.
I think Django and Hateful Eight are good, but I think
Isn't
Inglourious
Django your
Bastards.
favorite?
I love Django.
Django is really good. I mean, look, it's totally debatable. I mean, I still think that early Tarantino is way better than current Tarantino, but
I agree.
I am here to fight you.
Stay tuned for our
Thank you,
Tarantino
Curtis.
rankings.
We also have, let's just get through that. I think that's it. Halloween 2, like the second Rob Zombie one.
Oh, yeah.
So the third Halloween 2.
Yep. Yeah.
So that's good. And yeah, that's it. Then there's a movie called World's Greatest Dad, and there's a movie called The September Issue, which came out in August, so that's a bit awkward.
Huh.
So there you go. 2009. And now jumping into the headline stealers graphic. All right, big news. Fucking huge news. Fucking, if you're watching this episode and you haven't heard the news, prepare to fucking hear the news. Spider-Man is no longer in the MCU as of right now. Imagine if this comes out and then suddenly they've made a deal.
Like in 2 minutes.
I'd
it'll
be
like,
happy
live.
though.
True, I would be
For
happy.
the sake of humanity.
Yeah.
But in this little time capsule for right now, he is currently not in the MCU.
Yeah.
Because Sony and Disney could not come to an agreement based on just the ownership of the character and then who gets what money. Sony was always going to own it, but it was just whether he would be in the MCU. The details of which you can read a lot of online. I'll give you the basic gist if you don't know. Disney came to them and were like, we want 50-50 of the profits.
That's rumored to be wrong.
Well, yeah, there's like 30-70,
Yeah.
whole bunch of stuff. Deadline, who initially reported it, just was throwing shit out there to get the story out without
Yeah.
really backing shit up, and then sneakily edited the article later. Yeah, it seems like, Disney was asking for more. Sony was like, this is our only way we make money. Please don't. I saw a great meme that I'll send to whoever's editing, and you put it right here. It's basically, J. Jonah Jameson, Spider-Man 2. It's basically Peter walking in. He's like, the scene where he's like, can you pay me in advance? And he goes, and he starts laughing. It's like Peter is Disney. He's like, let's go 50-50. And then Sony's just like...
You serious?
Yes, love.
Oh, that's good.
For all your audio listeners, I had to describe it. All your video listeners or watchers, you would have gotten that. So enjoy. Anyways, yeah. What do you guys think? You sad?
Yes.
Yeah, pretty devastated.
Yeah.
But this might be pretty controversial, but like, for the way that Far From Home ended, not with the mid credits, but like as a whole with the Tony relationship, I feel like Peter's coming into his own skin, and I feel like his own movie would be kind of good to see him grow as a character, like leaving that all behind. And that's not to say I'm not devastated, but I feel like it's sort of not a bad way.
I
to
can
go.
agree with that, but it's just such a major hurdle that because of this deal, Sony won't be allowed to even like mention
Yeah.
MCU characters, will they? Because Disney will just
But
lawsuit
like,
them.
how does that work though? You know,
Oh,
like
no, can he even say Iron Man or Tony Stark? Like,
he,
Or like the Blip.
Yeah, it's weird. But then there's like characters that like appeared in the like side characters like Ned and
Yeah.
Aunt May and stuff like that who were in the Avengers
Like
movies.
actual
and
MC yeah,
it's like,
MCU
it's like
movies,
weird.
yeah.
It's weird how that all comes together.
Yeah.
I will say though, like all over the comics,
Mm.
Spider-Man is pretty prevalent. Like just in every one of them, I think he's been in like multiple groups. Like it's kind of
Yeah.
hard to just take him out of all of it.
I am fascinated. I honestly think at the end of the day they will come to a deal because it's both in their best interests.
Yeah.
And they've seen the reaction to it, and both of them are just playing out with the quotes that we've gotten of like, Kevin's like, well, we always knew it would come to an end, and we're glad we got the time that we had. And then Sony's like, well, we're disappointed Kevin couldn't, he's too busy, but,
Yeah.
we'll make sure that we're powering on. So I think that they're both trying not to show the weakness, but eventually they'll come together.
and Disney's so heavily invested business-wise in Spider-Man with theme parks that they're literally building right
Yeah.
now.
This is the weird thing
With
is people is
Spider-Man.
like, Disney doesn't have Spider-Man, and they're like, yeah, they do. They have the TV rights, the merchandising rights. They still own Marvel.
No, but that was part of the original deal. Like that's sort of like scrapped. with-
They still have the merch rights and they have all of that. It's just the movies.
There's so many details.
Yeah, it's
I'm not a
confusing.
businessman,
It's confusing.
clearly.
But yeah, I still think the blame lies at Disney's feet.
Yes,
Because
I
everyone was
agree.
hitting Sony.
I'm like,
no.
why? It's their only franchise. Disney's just
Yeah.
can't they let one studio have one successful franchise?
Yeah. Rip the little man.
But yeah, Sony will probably just end up getting bought by Disney anyway. Like
That's what I thought. I was waiting for it.
like it's literally like it's like it's like Alan Horn sitting in the office and Kevin walks back in the door and he goes, they didn't take it, and then Alan just looks at him and goes, guess we'll just have to buy them, and then like just
Oh,
cuts to
Bob.
like cuts. It's like I'll start writing the checks. Like, anyways,
Oh god.
Would you? How big? Like, what type of check would you have to write for that much money?
I don't know. Sony's not worth as much as Fox, but it's a lot of money.
True. Well, they bought Fox for over $70 billion. So.
Sony probably think they're worth a lot more than that though. I love
Anyways.
Sony.
Moving on to positive news.
Ewan McGregor is back as Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Hell yeah.
Another happy announcement. Yeah, I'm keen. I mean, it's not a big surprise,
Oh, 4 episodes.
but it's
Oh.
nice. How do you guys feel?
I am beyond excited. Obi-Wan Kenobi is my favourite Star Wars character of all time, and Ewan McGregor's portrayal is my favourite. That was a big pause.
I feel like they sort of, once they found Ewan McGregor, they sort of portrayed everything after that up to him. I feel like.
That's kind of
yeah.
true. Although it's interesting if you watch behind the scenes about how he really does mimic Alec Guinness.
Yeah.
Like he takes a lot of little mannerisms, which you don't really think about, but yeah, it's cool.
So keen.
Yeah, I mean, I think everyone who's listened or watches know where I stand on Star Wars, but this piece of news is pretty exciting. Like, I mean, how could you not be excited? Anyways,
It's a shame it's only 4 episodes long, but they're
I
filming
thought
next
it was
year.
4 episodes.
It was like, is there enough material for a movie here? And now it's a show, and I'm
Well,
like,
that's-
how is it even a show? But anyways,
Yeah, I reckon it had to have been a movie, and they just like stretched it out. Can we get on Disney Plus? Okay, I'll write the script a bit longer.
I wonder
Yeah.
if Stephen Daldry is still attached to it.
Yeah, we shall see.
Stephen, tell us in the comments below. All right, well, moving on. I'm very excited. Of course, I'm a big Star Wars fan. It's going to be great. Disney Plus is now going to own everything about us and our lives. We'll all have a Disney Plus show at some point, it seems. Kit Harington officially cast in Eternals as Black Knight. My question, why did they keep this till now? Were they trying to, like, wait till Game of Thrones had faded out a bit, or they hadn't
Probably.
signed the deal yet, or, like,
Kings
Did
of the
they-
North.
did they just save it for D23? I don't know. But he's in it. How do you feel?
Cool.
I'm still confused what Eternals is really about, but Richard Madden and Kit Harington together. Woo.
A lot of people were making the reference that the last time they saw each other in the show, he
Yeah.
says, next time I see you, you'll be wearing black. Now he's playing the Black Knight. So there you go. Happy days.
I've only seen Kit Harington in Pompeii, so I don't have that much. I don't have that much to say about him.
Dude, I was looking at a topic for later, worst movie posters, and Pompeii was one of them.
Oh,
Ooh. I
yeah.
think it's kind of cool. Anyway,
Yeah, there's a lot of posters that I think are fine.
Which we'll get to later.
Yeah, we will.
stick around.
We really do need to get onto it. All right, let's go. Black Panther 2 is arriving May 2022, which I guess is still in Phase 4, so that means that Phase 4 is continuing into 2022.
I think so. I hope so.
So presumably that means Blade is also Phase 4.
But then Kevin Feige said at one point that's Phase 4. I don't even.
But then it's like Guardians 3, which they haven't announced.
They'll
which-
come up with the side swap. Like, nah, these are all Phase 4. It's a 10-year phase.
yeah. I'm confused. It seems like there's still like half of Phase 4 that hasn't been announced.
Yeah.
Yet there's still fucking like 20 things coming out in Phase 4.
Mostly Disney Plus though.
Oh my lord. But yeah, I'm excited. Doesn't have a subtitle yet,
No.
but yeah, I'm keen. Ryan Coogler. Coogling back. I don't know. I couldn't make a pun there. All right. Here's the big news. Biggest news. This one. Everyone was talking about Spider-Man. I was like, yeah, that's fine. It'll work itself out. But fucking The Matrix is coming back. Keanu Reeves, Carrie-Anne Moss, Lana Wachowski, or is it Lily Wachowski? One of the Wachowskis.
Lana, I think.
Thank you, Lana, because that just made my day. How do you guys feel?
Very excited. The Keanu songs continues.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's the Keanu sense.
I've got a feeling it's going to get bad reviews, though.
Especially with the Wachowski's track record recently. Jupiter
Yeah,
Ascending.
Jupiter Ascending.
Yeah, a lot of people. Actually, I want to know how you guys feel about the Matrix trilogy.
I actually like enjoy. Obviously, the first one's the best, but like, I enjoy them all pretty consistently. I don't think they're 2 and 3 are as trash as everyone says they are,
Correct.
but definitely a step down from the first one. But overall, I like them. Interesting ideas, interesting concepts, and
I'd agree with that. Love the first one.
Yeah.
Third one's not too bad.
Yeah.
I don't like the second one.
honestly, I'd have to put the third one above the second one.
Yeah, I would do too.
Yeah, no, I'm a huge fan. I watched them all recently. Watched them all recently. Big fan of the lore. I really have done a lot of deep diving into like just every little detail about 2 and 3. So I really I know this series very well. Big fan of the video games and the Animatrix, all that jazz. So the idea of a fourth movie is very confusing because the series has finished. And obviously they're probably not going to be continuing the storyline started in the fabulous MMO The Matrix Online, which was actually a sequel. But anyways, I'm showing my age. But then someone posted on Reddit a cool idea for what the fourth movie would be, which is a spoiler, I guess. So I don't know. This series is like over 15 years old. But anyways, it's essentially like the next iteration of The Matrix. There's two options. Either the real world, which there's a big theory that the real world in the Matrix series was actually another layer of the Matrix, which is why Neo has his powers also in the real world at the end of the Matrix Reloaded. But then there are people saying that this will be the next iteration, the seventh Matrix, because people are confused.
So you think they're trying to do like the Inception kind of thing, where it's like a dream inside a dream inside a dream?
Yes, which was teased in the films itself, so it wouldn't be a huge surprise. But yeah, lots of ways
Do
they
you
could
reckon
go.
they're trying to start a new trilogy, a new Matrix trilogy?
No.
They're just doing just one more.
Even when they had someone coming in to write Zach Penn, I think, was writing a fourth movie or a spin-off or like a Morpheus or something.
Morpheus spin-off, yeah.
Yeah, and even that they said was set in the original trilogy, so I think that they're not going to reboot it.
But I meant like, do you reckon 4 will start a new
Oh, a
Like,
whole
just
new
a-
trilogy? Ooh.
Could be like a
Sequel
Dark
trilogy.
Fate where it's
Presumably.
closed but open enough for new movies, maybe.
I mean, The Matrix was a movie that wasn't a trilogy initially.
Yeah.
It was just one contained movie, and then they managed to make 3 movies out of it. So, presumably, yeah, they're making this with the intent that it's one, but there's ideas that could make it
Hopefully, yeah.
another 2. Very exciting. And hopefully, Lawrence Fishburne somehow involved.
Yeah.
Where are you, man? The next James Bond movie has been titled No Time to Die, and I think that's just the perfect level of like cheese. You know,
Such a bold title.
Yeah.
Yeah.
it's like fake. It's like it's like the most
One of those
self-aware
walking
title
titles.
we've had in a long time.
Yeah.
That isn't like Skyfall or
Yeah.
Spectre.
I'm,
So I like that.
yeah, I'm excited for this movie. It's been a while since we've seen Bond. He's getting old.
Yeah, he is. What
Yeah.
would he be?
I
How old is he?
got no clue. It's been like
Hey, but
5
fact check.
years since.
How old's Daniel Craig? Look it up.
Fact checker.
It's
been
probably
five-
what, like 80, 82?
Oh, yeah, I reckon.
He's been Bond for so long, like our entire lives.
Dude, it's so weird to think about like Sean Connery. They've been like Bond for a number of years and they've done so many movies.
Yeah.
Daniel Craig has been Bond for like 14 years.
Yeah.
And this is his 5th movie.
If you don't count Connery's like Never Say Never Again,
Yeah,
he
he's
would
done
be
like-
the longest running
He's
Bond.
51.
51.
There you go.
Oh, that's actually not as much as
Yeah.
I was expecting.
And then again, this is his 5th movie, Indiana Jones, 5th movie coming out, and he'll be like 77. So
True.
could be worse.
Yeah, that's true.
But yeah, very excited. Movie has been a lot of stories about the movie. Been in the press a lot. I
Yeah.
think it's got all the ingredients for a big hit.
I hope so.
Yeah.
Yeah, me too.
It's the last movie. It's got Rami, Oscar winning. It's got all the big news stories. Very excited. Speaking of big movies, there will be a big hit, Star Wars: The Rise of Skywalker. New footage. And also The Mandalorian had a trailer. Let's talk about the hot topic, Dark Ray. What do you guys think?
I don't know. It's,
I was reading online that apparently they think that she's actually a clone,
yeah.
Dark Ray's clone. But
I don't know. I honestly think it's like a dream sequence or something.
That's my bet.
I don't know. It's, I mean,
Dude, if it's a dream sequence, they're playing with fire and just pissing off fans again. And I
Mm.
think JJ's smarter than that, but you never know.
Yeah.
But I think everyone knows it's not real. So it's
Yeah.
like,
There's
there's
something
no one
that's
there
there.
that's going to be like, I wanted my Ray with their weird extended
Yeah.
lightsaber.
And I feel like if you were to make evil Ray, it would have worked better in The Last Jedi. But I feel like
Yeah.
that would have been the good point. But different director, but that would have been a good place to introduce that.
But what if it's sort of like she finds out who her parents are, and then she transforms from that?
You know,
What if that's her mum, who looks the same?
she doesn't age? She's in cryo sleep.
She's a clone.
I'm just most curious to see how the Emperor fits into it all.
Yeah.
Sorry, I don't like that poster with the stupid cartoon emperor at the top.
Ooh.
It's dumb.
Ooh.
But that lightsaber battle on that big thing in the ocean looks pretty cool. That they showed at the end of the trailer. Keen for a good lightsaber fight again.
Yeah, I can't really talk because I've been following the leaks, so I'm sort of stuck out on this one. But get keen, guys. It's going to be a fun time. Mandalorian trailer.
Cool.
I'd watched the footage that came out of
E3?
Celebration
Oh,
earlier in the
okay.
year because the trailer and like a 7-minute sequence were online. So I don't know if you guys saw
I
that.
watched that, yeah.
But if you hadn't, this would have been very cool. So yeah, what do you think?
It looks so dark. I'm like, is it really going to be that dark? Is Disney allowing this?
I hope it's gruesome, like that shot where the Mandalorian and the closing door just close.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool.
Star Wars gets away with violence because it just changes the color of the blood.
Yeah.
Yeah. What do you think of the Mandalorian trailer?
Oh, I'm keen for it. I haven't actually seen it yet, the trailer, so...
It's a bit awkward. Let me give you a rundown. It's a guy in what looks like Boba Fett's armor, just fucking shooting people.
In
A
what,
lot.
in what looks like Mos Eisley.
Yeah.
Yeah, on Tatooine.
Oh, okay.
And there's sand.
With Apollo Creed.
Oh,
Apollo Creed.
Gus
So they're sort
Fring
of doing like a
from Breaking
one-man
Bad.
army kind of thing?
Pretty much.
And that one
Gus
character
Fring
from
Breaking Bad.
Gina Carino from Fast and Furious 6. From that
Yeah.
one subway station fight where they roll down the stairs. Classic. Yeah, very excited.
Yeah.
Star Wars, I love you.
Back on track. Maybe.
It is.
I'm hoping I
it
can
never
jump
left
back
the
forward.
tracks, guys. It's still good. Come
So
on, boy.
yeah,
That brings us to the end of the headline stealers. It's time for the big small news.
And to start off the big small news, we've got
The graphic.
and
That was so
then,
good.
and then Andy Serkis is officially directing Venom 2, and Tom Hardy will be involved with the writing of the story. Are you keen for Andy Serkis to direct Venom 2?
I'm excited to see Tom Hardy involved in writing. That's what I'm keen to see.
Yeah. It's going to be something.
I want to see his flavor into this movie, but Andy Serkis,
Have any of you seen Mowgli?
I want to see his lobster
no.
flavor. Yeah, I have. It was alright.
He's an interesting pick, but
yeah.
hopefully his like motion capture experience or something will make for some good scenes between Tom Hardy and Woody Harrelson, who is returning as Carnage.
Yeah, I'm
Oh,
keen
yeah.
for that. I'm keen for Carnage.
Came for that in his shit wig.
I hope it's
I hope that
MA, well, R for our foreign audiences.
So yeah, Venom 2. Didn't like the first one. Not keen for the second one. Harry Styles has turned down the role of Prince Eric in the Little Mermaid live-action remake. Who cares? No one's excited for that. Oh,
No, there's a whole audience on
Yeah.
Tumblr that's crying their eyes out.
I would have been keen to see him in another acting role
yeah.
from
I
a
don't
short
know.
appearance.
To go from Dunkirk to a lead role, I reckon he needs to do a few more things.
Yeah.
But yeah, moving on to David Benioff and D.B. Weiss, the Game of Thrones showrunners, have signed a reported $200 million deal to work with Netflix exclusively.
Shit. I don't watch Game of Thrones, so I don't know their level of craft. Or...
But you have seen X-Men Origins Wolverine, which they wrote.
Really?
So how do you feel about it now?
Or just David Benioff. But yeah.
One of them, yeah.
And he also wrote Gemini Man, which is coming out.
I don't know. I really want to see Gemini Man. I don't know why.
But yeah, that's interesting that they could demand that much money after season 8.
It makes sense to me though. Like, still, whatever you think of the last series, because it was bad. I don't know. Creator's still worth much. So.
Yeah. I will say though, it's not a coincidence that both scripts for both, like the TV series and Origins, were not, well, probably subpar at most.
Yep.
So maybe they should put a little bit more time into it.
Yeah, I'm just worried about their Star Wars series of films that was announced ages ago. Maybe they've already finished it. That's why Game of Thrones is so bad, because they were just writing Star Wars.
Like, yeah, we'll get there. We'll just want to finish running this lightsaber battle.
Moving on, Andy Muschietti, the director of It, has confirmed he's directing the Flash solo movie with Ezra Miller returning.
Jesus,
Finally,
finally.
yeah.
I feel like we'll be back in here in 5 months, and we'll be saying Andy
Andy
Muschietti
Muschietti
has
leaves
dropped
the
out of the
project.
Flash. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
That'll make him like the 5th director. Hopefully it gets off the ground.
Yeah, I'm keen. I just want to see a Flash movie, man.
anything at this point.
Yeah.
Even if it's bad, just release it.
And continuing on with DC news, Pierce Brosnan is reportedly being eyed to play Alfred in Matt Reeves'
No
The Batman.
fucking what? I hadn't seen this. Are you serious? That's so awesome.
I would love that.
I'd be keen.
Wow.
Alfred goes badass.
That's nuts. Okay, yeah, keep going.
I suppose that makes sense because, you know, Robert Pattinson is much younger, and so
Yeah. Wow. All right. Keep moving on. I gotta process this.
well,
Take me a
process this. The Lion King is Disney's biggest non-Star Wars or Marvel film. And is, when I wrote this, it was at number 9 worldwide, but it's probably at number 8 or 7 worldwide of all time. The Lion King live-action remake.
I mean,
Jeez.
it is called The Lion King, so
Curtis, we contributed
must
to
take the
that.
throne.
Yeah, we did.
And we didn't even watch the freaking movie.
Because they fell asleep. I try and look at it as a testament to the love of the animated classic rather than this film.
Yeah, that makes sense. That's a nice way of
I
thinking
see
of
that, but I'm also just like, just watch the original goddamn movie.
it. Yeah.
It just shows that the fan base is maintained and grown.
But there would be a lot of people who would have seen the new one and then watched the original. So the original is getting its
Such a
share.
good remake.
Moving on to some release dates. The Last Night in Soho, Edgar Wright's next film, arrives September next year.
Keen.
I have no idea
Hell
what it's
yeah.
about,
No,
but
neither.
after Baby Driver and love the Cornetto trilogy, so...
And Scott Pilgrim.
Haven't seen Scott Pilgrim.
I think it's a great movie.
Yeah, I'm keen for that. It's got, who's it got in it? Anya Taylor-Joy from...
New Mutants.
The Dune live-action remake. Or not live-action, so used to live-action remakes. The Dune remake arrives December 2020. It got delayed from November, so only a month.
Still a month too long. I don't want to wait anymore.
God, it's cast. Denis Villeneuve.
Denis Villeneuve.
That's it.
Denis Villeneuve, move your ass and get this movie into my cinema. Thank you.
I find it interesting they sort of moved it to the release date that the Star Wars films have been following. Seeing there's no Star Wars film in
It's probably
2020.
gonna be that new big one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hopefully it's successful so that they can make a trilogy.
The Lion King is still not going on.
Thanks, Ava.
It's really well scored.
But yeah, the Elvis Presley biopic arrives October 2021, which is a long time
Oh, yeah.
away, especially for a film that's going to be filming in a couple
Soon.
months. So obviously Baz Luhrmann's going all out with.
I'm
production
keen
value.
to see this.
It's
Yes,
got,
if you're gonna do it, you gotta do it right.
Yeah. I'm
It's
interested to see Austin Butler in it.
yeah, after seeing him in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
I'm as real as a donut.
Keen. Himish Patel from Yesterday has joined the cast of Christopher Nolan's Tenet, which is already a pretty cool cast.
Yeah.
With John David Washington, Robert Pattinson, Elizabeth Debicki, Aaron Taylor-Johnson, Kenneth Branagh, and Michael Caine.
Yeah.
Damn.
Still don't know what Tenet's about, but I'm excited.
A lot of people, because the title is the same forwards as it is backwards, and the
Yeah.
poster is the same forwards, or upside down as it is front ways.
Apparently there was a little teaser that played in
Yeah.
selected
There was.
screenings of Hobbs and Shaw.
In America.
Yeah, a lot of people saying it'll be like, sort of like Memento, where it's like,
I
you can
love
watch the
Memento.
movie, it's like a
Haven't
backwards
seen
movie.
Memento.
Oh, Memento's so good.
I haven't seen it.
You got, what are you
Bro.
doing? Gotta do your homework.
Yeah.
Yeah. Keen. It has
Yeah.
like a $225 million budget. So.
And I liked
Easy.
Himish Patel in Yesterday, so yeah.
Alright.
David Leitch has teased that Atomic Blonde 2 is still in the works and could happen over at a streaming service like Netflix.
What do we
So
think?
basically, they're just waiting for someone to buy it.
Probably.
It's not gonna happen.
What do we think of the first Atomic Blonde? Actually,
Looks pretty. Not much.
I thought it was alright.
yeah. It's a narrative structure that kind of messes up the
Yeah.
movie.
Yeah, the acting's all good and the
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
action and yeah, it looks pretty. But
I just don't know because the first one seems like it wrapped up the character
yeah,
well with those like 3 twists in the movie.
Yeah.
So yeah.
continuing on with David Leitch, he says he's interested in directing the Blade movie for Marvel, starring Mahershala Ali.
Dude, David Leitch,
I
since
dig
he left the first John Wick, he's just been on the high, and I'm like, oh, Chad Stahelski.
Yeah.
No, but Chad's still got, like, someone had to stay back and take
Yeah.
custody of the kid
Hasn't
and,
he got
like,
another
you
movie
know,
lined up,
raise him.
Chad? He's
He's got lots. Like, I was
yeah.
looking at his
Okay,
IMDb
good,
the other
good for you.
Chad's gonna come out of chapter 4 and he's gonna do, like, something
Million
crazy
dollars.
as well.
Can he do a
So-
rom-com?
I mean, he is a Chad.
Nah, true.
Ooh.
Ah.
Chad Stahelski's directing The Little Mermaid
Just Little Women.
with John Wick as Prince Eric.
Oh my
I mean,
god.
Keanu Reeves as Prince Eric. Sorry, I just made myself want to watch that movie.
But yeah, moving on to a controversial topic that you might have heard of. Universal Pictures cancelled the release of this film called The Hunt after the mass shootings recently in America.
Oh yeah, heard about that.
Which one?
Exactly.
Awkward.
Is anyone like, who's in the hunt? Is it just relatively
I don't
small
know. It's
people?
like I think it's a Blumhouse film,
okay.
but
I heard about this, but
I just
What was it about?
probably is.
Mass shootings?
Probably.
I think it was. I watched the start of the trailer. I remember that. It was like I think this lady comes to like a small town and then there's just lots of murder and she's getting hunted or whatever and But I know that.
It's a satire
Okay.
thriller.
At the end of the day, it just sucks for all the people that spent 9 months of their life or whatever making this movie for it to get pulled for like, you know, political reasons. I mean, I get what they're trying to do, but it still sucks.
So there's so many violent movies. It's like
Yes, and there's so many mass shootings, so it's
also,
like
I remember we saw Hotel Mumbai like just after the Christchurch incident, and we're like,
wow.
yeah. So
I don't know. People can separate fiction from fantasy.
Exactly.
I don't mind if
Oh,
this doesn't get a theatrical. I
reality.
just hope it does get released because, you know, all the effort that those people put into the movie.
Netflix, go buy it.
And there are rumors that they are looking to release it eventually.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Really weird. I guess now it'll probably have more publicity than it would have before because I had
Yeah.
not heard about it.
True.
So,
Yeah.
Any publicity is good publicity.
Hell yeah.
That's
Yeah.
the motto of our show.
Speed round through all the trailers that came out. We got a new trailer for Rambo: Last Blood.
Let's do like a single like word to describe each down the line.
It's too hard.
Well, not a single word, but just like a single thought.
We'll try.
Rambo. I didn't watch any of these, so
Any of the trailers?
I watched Noelle and Lady and the Tramp. That's it.
Did you watch the Joker trailer?
No,
Terminator?
no.
Oh, we watched it.
But I know I'm gonna see it, guys,
Yeah.
and I bet it spoils things.
Well-
so.
Do you reckon it does?
For what?
Should we start with Terminator, the new Terminator trailer? Does it spoil anything?
It doesn't spoil like the movie. I just know like
I suppose it will.
where it fits, like where these
Yeah.
things happen. Like, oh, I can see this.
The trailer did feel like just a bunch of random cuts just added together kind of thing. It wasn't
Loud,
really.
loud Terminator music, lots
Yeah.
of generic trailer. Yeah.
yeah.
But it looks awesome.
Oh yeah,
I'm
it
so
looks
keen.
dope.
Like the first trailer was pretty bad, and then they released that Comic-Con featurette, which got me pretty hyped.
Yeah.
And then this trailer.
Gotta watch that Comic-Con panel, guys. It's
But I guess they can only really stick with the one genre of the robots taking over the world.
Yeah.
That's sort of all they've got. But I mean, I'm still okay with that.
Same. I'm still down for it,
Yeah. Keen. But yeah, Rambo looks brutal.
bro.
Looks fun.
Wow,
Keen.
that was hectic.
That's a brutal
I'm
trailer.
excited for it. I'm keen for some classic like 80s, like, you know, brutal killing. Probably not the best word to use after we talk about The Hunt, but you know.
Yep.
Moving on to Last Christmas, a new comedy or romantic
What
comedy.
did you think about it? You saw all these trailers like 10 minutes ago.
Looks a bit cliche.
That's the one I liked the least.
I feel like I saw the whole movie in this trailer.
Yes, that was the biggest problem.
There was this part with Emilia Clarke's character, and I'm like, why?
I know that second half.
Yeah, I'm like, oh.
But yeah, I don't
It
know.
feels like she's just doing a bunch of movies where it's sort of like romantic, and eventually she gets with the guy.
Real quick, we go at about 15 minutes.
I was telling you to move forward.
Oh, I know, but we also have like 15 minutes because
oh,
I
geez.
gotta go. So either I can leave it all here and leave, or it's up to you guys. But we gotta power through.
Underwater, cool trailer. 20th Century Fox release. Motherless Brooklyn, an Edward Norton movie where he plays a...
Detective?
Doesn't he
No,
direct
one
it?
where he's like,
Yeah.
what do you call that? I'm gonna
Yeah.
cut that out. Noelle, a Disney Plus movie, looks cheap and shit. Lady and the Tramp, also. And the final Joker trailer was really, really, really cool. So keen. Moving on to topic of the month.
Woo!
Yeah.
Graphic.
It is my topic of the month, and this is...
Speed through it.
I'm sorry, audio listeners, but this is very visual heavy. I am here because I got inspired by a really stupid Ad Astra poster, which is just Brad Pitt looking at the camera in a spacesuit. And I will display all these images here for you. And this just made me go back and just talk about the state of movie posters today. Yeah, just...
I feel like, or especially with this one and like Underwater and Disney just dogging all these 20th Century Fox films that they've acquired.
I will say you could sit any old white guy in there in a spacesuit and just CGI Brad Pitt's face.
That's
and
so true.
It would just be
Yeah.
the same.
And it just reminded me of the just the classic one actor selling point movie. Tom Cruise is guilty of all of these. Look at this Jack Reacher poster. It's just a teaser poster of half his face.
Yeah, that's weird.
Mission Impossible Ghost Protocol, where it's just him in a hoodie.
He's got like a weird mustache going on too.
Yeah.
But I feel like that's a marketing scheme.
Oh,
'cause
yeah,
they
for
have
sure.
to add his face
And
in.
let's not forget about
Yeah.
not just the face, but the stupid text over the face.
Oh,
Most notably from Transporter Refueled, 21 Bridges,
The Martian.
and every single Matt Damon movie ever. As
Wow,
you will
it's
see
so
up
it
on
is the
the-
same.
It
like,
is the same
thing.
poster.
Oh my god!
I thought the Elysium one was fake because I never saw it before, but it is an actual poster.
He can save us all.
Yeah.
Oh my god, that's so funny.
Yeah, and then this also brings me to just a fun little Photoshop disaster.
Okay.
piece. So we got the Heat. If you notice,
Yeah.
that's not Melissa McCarthy. That is Melissa McCarthy with layers of Photoshop on her face.
Yeah.
Yeah. See, yeah. People, I saw this come up and everyone was like, "This is ridiculous. She looks unrecognizable." I'm like,
Yeah,
no,
she's
it
not
looks like Melissa
unrecognizable.
McCarthy.
You just know that, obviously.
Yeah.
And I love this example. The Photoshop disaster of the chef poster.
Okay, that's not real. I looked it up.
What, the poster?
I looked that up because that is just cannot be real.
Well, it's an international poster, so...
is it really like? Because I looked
I
it up
think it
and
is.
everywhere I found it, there was no like official source. And
It's
if you
on-
Google it, it's just like it looks like it's just a fan thing.
Yeah. Possibly, but I mean, it's international. Who knows? That's
But like, look at that! It's like
It's
someone
all red
heard
carpet
about the
photos.
making of the movie, yeah, and
Yeah.
it's just like them, just like that can't be real.
yeah. And to a movie that
Just
I
can't
actually
be
kind of
real.
enjoy, Takers. It's not as bad of a Photoshop disaster, but you can see the proportions of Hayden Christensen's face to his body. Paul Walker just doesn't look. It doesn't look.
Yeah, he
right.
doesn't even look like him.
The only person that looks like he's there is Chris Brown. Probably.
What, just because he's got a creepy stare?
No, but he looks like he's just there. Speaking of, do I have any other Photoshop design? How can
Okay,
how,
so these are my least favorite posters. of
how
all
can we
time.
not talk about the Homecoming poster, the official poster that no one wants to use?
To me, it is hands down the worst movie poster of all time.
Yeah,
Like, it's just so bad. Like,
Yeah.
there is some of those other posters. It's like, all right, I get it.
Yeah.
Like the Takers one's not that bad. Like the ones with the face, it's like I get it. But that is just unexcusably
no,
terrible.
It just doesn't work, and everyone's just so quick to jump on like, oh, Sony's like shitty posters, but it's like you look at the posters for like the original Spider-Mans, and even the Amazing Spider-Man movies, and they're pretty good posters. So I feel like just some miscommunication.
What went wrong? Like I really believe that someone sent the wrong file to like someone, and then there was just too late.
Or maybe
It
in
was just-
Photoshop, it was like they accidentally clicked the eye and
Yeah,
everything
legit.
got shown, and it's like, oh shit.
Like, I just don't know how someone could look at that and be like, well,
That's
okay,
good.
so out of all these options, we're gonna go with this one.
Yeah.
I feel like they didn't even have that sort of process. They just sort of uploaded it and went, oh, actually that's not that good.
Yeah. Oh god.
I mean, the Far From Home poster in comparison is not that bad, but it's still like.
Yeah, there's the one with the spider.
And the
logo behind
freaking
it.
triangle that we have
What
here
is
on
that
our lovely set.
triangle?
Yeah, it is. They are still weird.
I think it's just the yellow font that really throws it off for me, and just how lifeless it feels.
Yeah, he looks weird. Anyways,
Yeah.
at least it's a step up.
Moving on to, I mean, how could you not talk about the First Class character posters?
Oh yeah, I saw that yesterday when I was looking through this.
Yeah.
Man, the Professor X one is so bad.
The thing is like,
so weird.
the thing is like James, because I read that James McAvoy like shaved his head for the role, like, and then they were like, "No, we want to do a young one. You got to have your hair," and they made him a wig.
Yeah.
Probably told him to take off the wig just for this photo.
Wait, really?
Yeah.
Are you? This is legit.
yeah,
He's
yeah,
wearing
this is
a wig
legit.
in
Yeah,
first
'cause
class.
He was so excited. He shaved his head, and they're like, "No, we want you to have hair because this is young."
That's so
Professor X."
funny. That's honestly, that's gonna be so annoying.
Yeah.
And he's had a shaved head basically since he got cast as Professor X. Like
True.
every movie he's been in.
Sure.
Yeah. No one's seen this movie, but I just love this Good Luck Chuck poster.
Oh god.
What is that?
That bed there looks like a concrete block that they're lying on.
It's like, why are his biceps so weird?
Yeah, just the proportions out of control. Oh, my favorite one probably is Bangkok Dangerous. 'Cause alright, there's so many things going on in this poster. There are gunshots, right? Where's the gun?
Yeah, what is it? What is he holding?
Where's his arm going in his jacket? What's going on?
Yeah, that is really weird.
Yeah.
He's just going.
He's going like this,
Yeah.
and he's meant to be. You can see that he's probably meant to be holding a gun.
And the funny thing is, it doesn't show anything about the movie at all.
No, it really doesn't.
It's Bangkok and it's dangerous, I guess. Like that's
Oh.
all I got to go on.
Yeah, and another category. I love these foreign posters. Look at Rambo First Blood. Like
Wow.
he's in the bush.
He's
But-
on a motorway.
Yeah. Oh, and the masterpiece, a Russian Star Wars poster.
What?
That looks like Dark Side.
But
Java?
it's like a disco ball and like it looks like Tim Shaw from like Doctor Who.
Yeah. So, and I think.
It sounds like they didn't get like any actual photos from the movie. No,
Yeah.
it's
so
it's called Star Wars.
Wars.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just make something.
And just purely misleading posters like the Italian Job. Like I get the plan is on this woman's backside, but really?
And it's not even is it, like 11. Like isn't the point of that movie like the cast?
Yeah, the
Like,
cast.
It was like getting all the classic like 60s actors, and they were
Yeah.
like, "Nah,
Yeah,
just have two people."
gotta love movie posters. And I had two posters that really stood out to me, like in terms of what makes them so good. First Man, just like tells you everything you need to know about it.
I still have yet to see that film.
Really, it's a good
Yeah.
movie. I really like the
Yeah.
poster.
It works, I guess. It's better than the
Ad Astra.
usual face posters because
Yeah.
at least he's wearing a helmet and there's like some lens flares.
Yeah. And another one with great execution. I'd say the Phantom Menace poster is an excellent poster.
Yeah, that one's good.
In terms of teaser.
There's a lot of teaser posters that are great, and then actual posters that are shit because the
Yeah.
actual ones they have to put all the characters on.
Yeah, I mean, I think this one had good ideas, but a bad execution for episode 3.
Yeah.
Like the teaser poster is terrible.
Yeah.
It doesn't even look like Vader. It's like
No,
Is it meant to be like smoke?
I don't know. It's meant to be like interwoven.
that's
in this
really
cake.
weird. I see. It's like that is like that image of Hayden Christensen is like my sleep paralysis demon. Like when you look in the corner, it's like, is that Hayden Christensen staring at me, or is
Yeah.
that just like a lamp?
So yeah, I just wanted to.
It's better, thanks.
I just wanted to highlight the disasters of movie posters, the over Photoshop, the one person face posters, and just where has all the creativity gone, and just what made movie posters so appealing and so like eye catching. So like, oh, I want to see this movie because that was First Man. I didn't even watch a trailer of the First Man until I had to see it in the cinema.
Wow.
So I saw the poster and I was like, I want to see this already. So yeah,
I think it just
a few
comes down
examples.
to like, just like good design and like not like just shoving everything in at once. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
It seems like it's just like time and iteration.
I genuinely wonder who they actually made. Like, who they actually paid to make those. Like, was it actually someone with a degree?
I think they just like they go to a bunch of people and they just go like they give them some photos or something. They say just make us a poster. They
Yeah,
get,
you know Photoshop.
Yeah, exactly. You get like 30 of them, and then they just choose the best one for some reason.
Yeah, just
Yeah.
the
Some
worst
shit ones get
excuses
chosen.
those Photoshop
Yeah.
cast lineups when you clearly can't get everyone in on the same day,
Yeah.
and it's
Yeah, movie posters.
Yeah.
Sometimes they're beautiful, sometimes they're shit.
yeah, Homecoming. Fuck you.
Midsummer. It's had really good posters. I like them.
Yeah,
Yeah, I liked it.
yeah. We only believe in good posters in this podcast. So yeah,
All right. Moving on to the final topic of the day. Graphic.
you need to see this.
Curtis.
Yeah,
is you.
so I chose Halo 4 Forward Onto Dawn, and that's pretty controversial, yeah. Essentially, they had a budget of about 10 million, and it was produced in it was 2012, October 6th? October 6th, yeah. And essentially they gave, I think it was 15-minute clips each week.
I don't know
Originally.
how you would watch this movie in 15-minute clips.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's so pointless.
Yeah.
Episodic.
Anyways.
But yeah, then they finally did that. Essentially, it's like a real life game movie / thing.
It's a weird hybrid.
Yeah, weird hybrid where it's sort of. But I kind of like it in the fact that it's sort of like it's different.
Yeah, it's just you don't know what to.
Yeah,
Expect
like
it
there was
to
no
be-
plot at all, but it's just different. Like it's sort of something that we don't really have a lot of. Like, well, okay, we do, but not like futuristic kind of military type stuff. Like no one's really breached into that area. I guess.
Except in Spectral, which was one of my you need to see this, which Harry loved.
I think that this was better than Spectral.
Oh,
It might be controversial, but I enjoyed this a lot more than I thought I was going to. I thought I'd seen it before, but it turns out I'd seen Halo Nightfall, I think, which is one that has Luke Cage in it.
Oh, I haven't seen that one.
There's one that has
there's a bunch of them.
whatever that guy's name is.
Mike
I can't
Coulter.
remember. Mike Coulter, that's right. He was in a Halo thing, so I'd seen that. So I thought that was this. Started it. I was like, oh, this is different, and I enjoyed it more than I thought. I think they did really well with the $10 million budget.
Yeah.
Yeah,
To
actually,
make stuff like Master Chief, which is like I don't know how you make that look good without a really big budget, but
Yeah.
they did. Like it sold me. So
Yeah, the first half was a bit cliche with all the training.
Yeah.
And, you're not as good as your brother or your father or
It
whatever.
feels really episodic,
Yeah.
like which it is, but you know,
Yeah.
But then I thought it picked up in the second half. I quite enjoyed it.
Oh, for
It was
sure.
fun.
I
Yeah.
feel like the start of it was sort of them just figuring out how to actually do movies, and then by the end of it, they were sort of like, oh, okay, we can take it this
Yeah.
route.
yeah,
the direction was good. The visual effects were good.
Yeah.
The way they worked around it, like there was one specific shot I thought was clever where you see the big monster, but you don't see it. You see it in Chief's helmet.
yeah.
Like just ways that they worked around it.
Yeah.
So it was good.
You can tell they had fun making this. Like, you know,
Yeah.
they went all out. Why not?
Yeah.
Because you see the post and you're like, oh, it's just one of those cheap sort of
Those
Mm.
just went straight to DVD.
live action hybrid
Yeah.
video game
Yeah.
movies.
But-
But
no,
even
they actually
but
put effort
Netflix
in.
actually bought it in 2013, which I was surprised
Oh.
about.
And
Yeah.
they made it
Put them
into a
all into
film.
one, which I think was a good decision.
I think
Yeah.
it makes me want to watch a real Halo movie with like
Exactly.
Well,
$200
they are
million
making a
dollars.
But
Halo
here's the
TV
thing.
series.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
but
I didn't
here's the
think so.
thing, because of that, because it was, well, it wasn't exactly a failure, but it wasn't, you know,
Success.
didn't really shed a light on like the gaming aspect
Yeah.
of movies, and I feel like they wouldn't want to risk that.
Yeah. Or as a non-fan of like the Halo video games or whatever,
Yeah.
it didn't interest me to like go play them. But I thought it was like the lore was kind of interesting and it was fun.
Yeah,
Yeah, I'm not that big on video games, but I have played like Halo 3 like back then, and it has like you said, it hasn't like made me want to go back and revisit them, but it's made me go like, oh yeah, I could get behind this.
Yeah, it's tough at times when you don't know Halo lore
Yeah.
because, especially the ending, where I'm like, I don't really get it. Who's this character that he's actually, you know, like it's like a prequel or something.
Yeah,
That's not really a spoiler, I guess, if you've played the games. But anyways, but you kind of get it as well. And I think I'd read that they'd wanted this to be something that would introduce people who hadn't played the games into the series. As like Nut 4 could be like a new jumping off point. So
yeah.
you get it. Like there are things I'm like, I don't know what that means, but you don't really need to.
I think it was definitely a marketing ploy, that's for sure.
Yeah.
And the funny thing is, I think it worked.
Yeah. Well, obviously you still remember it. And then you told us to watch it and we watched it. Now we're telling them, so it's working.
Yeah.
This is proof
Exactly.
that it has worked. But I think I just respect. I was watching. I was like, I can feel this going down the cliche road. But then they had the balls to. I don't want to spoil stuff like it because we're telling you to watch it, so you should watch it. So
Yeah.
we probably shouldn't spoil it. But
Yeah.
they take some swings with. They kill a lot of people.
yeah.
You know, and I was like, respect. Like they didn't shy away from the war aspect of it. And they had the balls to go there. So I respect that.
Yeah.
You need to see this.
Go watch it. Halo. Forward Until Dawn. All right, and that brings us to the end of episode 8 of Movies Are the Future. Thank you very much for watching. If you're on audio, go give us a rating on iTunes / Spotify. Follow us. If you're on the video, subscribe, like, please. head over to Instagram.com/movies_of_the_future and get your latest movie news and reviews. Also head over to the Slop Shack. Watch our podcasts and head over to theslopshack.com. Declan, Dragon, Kurtis, Ava, thank you all very much. Yeah. What? I'm here. I'm alive. We'll see you guys. We'll do a special next another episode. What's coming
I
next?
haven't a clue.
Who
Something.
knows?
I'm gonna
We'll
go watch
figure
the
it out.
Has Fallen series, and then
Yes.
maybe that'll lead
Has
to
fallen
something.
ranked videos.
It'll be good. All right. Thank you guys very much for joining us. Till next time. I don't know about you.
But I'm thirsty as fuck.
There's never any liquid in my cup by the end of this episode. It's really awkward.
Conserve.